Sometimes the pain of losing a loved one can blur the line between reality and the impossible. When a figure from the past returns with a familiar face but dark intentions, a grieving child's mind becomes a battleground between the real and the supernatural. Buried secrets, disturbing visions, and a creature that shouldn't exist will test the limits of love, guilt, and sanity. So today we'll be watching Daddy's Head. The film begins with an adult Isaac staring at a vent, lost in thought. A flashback takes us to his past. A much younger Isaac walks through the sterile hospital halls, holding hands with his stepmother, Laura. They're going to see his father, James, who's in a coma and about to be taken off life support. The scene shifts to the drive home. Laura and Isaac sit in silence, the weight of loss heavy between them. When they arrive, Laura kindly offers to make Isaac something to eat. He shakes his head and quietly retreats to his room. While Isaac escapes with a handheld gaming device, a gift from his father, Laura sits alone in the living room watching old home videos of James. Laughter and memories flicker on the screen as she replays moments they shared. Upstairs, Isaac's bedroom walls are covered with unsettling hand-drawn images, dark depictions of strange creatures. Later, a lawyer arrives to review James's will. Everything was left to Laura, with one request: that he be buried beside his first wife, Suzanne, in the backyard. A social worker meets with Laura and explains the situation. Isaac has no other family. His biological parents were only children. If Laura chooses not to become his legal guardian, the boy will be sent to foster care or a state home. Laura's voice trembles as she talks to her mother on the phone. Her mother's words are firm. Take the money and hand Isaac over to the system. It's the only way, she insists. But Laura can't even consider it. The idea eats at her. Abandoning her child now would feel like betrayal. The next day, a family friend named Robert stops by. Over coffee, he gently asks how Isaac is coping. Laura sighs, her gaze distant. He won't talk to me. I think he blames me for everything. Robert leans in to comfort her. He's hurting, but he doesn't hate you. Kids grieve in their own way. Just don't give up on him. Before leaving, Robert finds Isaac in the backyard and says firmly, "If you ever need to talk, I'm here. I mean it." Isaac doesn't respond, but something in his eyes shifts slightly. That night, Laura enters Isaac's room. He's sitting cross-legged on the floor, staring at an old photo of his father. The silence is heavy. Was Dad already dead before they turned off the machines? Isaac asks, without looking up. Laura kneels beside him. His body was alive, but his mind wasn't. The doctor said he wouldn't wake up. But how could they be sure? Isaac asks harshly. What if they were wrong? Laura's breath catches. Her eyes fill with tears. I don't know, she whispers and leaves the room, shoulders trembling. Alone in the kitchen, Laura pours herself a drink. One turns into several. She falls asleep on the couch, glass still in hand. In her dreams, a shadowy figure stands in the doorway, watching, unmoving. In the early morning hours, a strange light flashes across the dark sky outside her home. It's silent, disturbing, like a ripple in the air itself. The next morning, Isaac wakes Laura in a panic. Thick black smoke rises from the woods behind the house. Something has crashed. As Isaac runs out to see, Laura shouts sharply, "Isaac, come back here!" Her voice is panicked. He hesitates but obeys and runs back. Laura quickly dials 911 to report the smoke near the forest. When the fire department arrives, they search the area but find nothing strange. One firefighter says, "There's no fire, ma'am. But if anything changes, call us again." Laura nods, still uneasy. That night, Laura drinks again to calm her nerves. As she dozes off, the strange dreams return. Blinking lights outside, a chill in the air. In the dream, she walks into the woods and sees a wrecked car. Then a voice calls her name. She turns around and sees James. His face is deformed, not how she remembered. She gasps, frozen in place. The next morning is James's funeral. Family and friends gather to say goodbye. As the casket is lowered, Isaac notices tiny worms crawling through the soil. He says nothing, just watches. Later that day, several guests stop by the house to offer condolences. Laura tries to stay composed, but by nightfall, her grief overwhelms her. She turns up the music and starts drinking again. Eventually, she collapses on the living room floor. The loud music wakes Isaac. He leaves his room and finds Laura unconscious. He shakes her, trying to wake her, but she doesn't respond. Then their dog Bella starts barking furiously. The barking finally rouses Laura. Dazed, she turns off the music and looks around. Bella is growling at something under the table. Laura freezes. A small, shadowy creature darts out from under the table. Bella chases it. Laura grabs a kitchen knife and follows the noise, with Isaac close behind. A loud crash comes from Isaac's room. They rush in and find the window shattered. The creature is gone. After sealing the broken window, Laura turns to Isaac and says gently, "If you need anything, just call me, okay?" He nods, but instead of going to his room, he follows her down the hall. "I don't want to be alone," he admits. "I'm scared." Laura lifts the covers and motions him to get in bed. "You can sleep here tonight," she says, trying to sound calm. She places the knife in her nightstand drawer and turns off the light. Isaac clings tightly to her as he falls asleep. That night, Isaac dreams again. The creature appears but now transforms into a tall, dark human shape. It whispers his name over and over until he jolts awake, heart pounding. The next morning, Robert stops by the house. Laura tells him about the break-in and the strange creature. Robert frowns and suggests, "You two should come stay with me for a while until things settle down." Laura shakes her head. "Thanks, but we'll be fine here." Later, while tidying up the house, Laura notices something odd. Her nightstand drawer is open. The knife is gone. She checks the entire house but can't find it. During dinner, Robert gently brings it up. "Isaac, the thing you saw the other night, what did it look like?" Isaac puts down his fork. "It was very thin and black, like it was made of smoke." Robert and Laura share a look but say nothing else. That night, Isaac wakes up to a cold presence in the room. He opens his eyes and sees the creature standing on the bed, towering over him. But it no longer looks like a monster. Now it looks like his dad. "I need you to come to the forest. I'm waiting for you." Isaac's mouth goes dry. Before he can speak, the figure vanishes into the darkness. The next morning, Laura wakes to the soft click of a door closing. She bolts up and looks around. Isaac isn't in the room. From the window, she sees him crossing the yard, heading straight for the woods. Her heart pounding, Laura runs outside. Meanwhile, Isaac walks among the trees, following whispers in his head. He parts some bushes and freezes. Right in front of him is a face. It looks like his father's, pale, staring. Isaac steps closer. Suddenly, Bella bursts through the brush, growling fiercely. She lunges at the figure. "No, stop, Bella!" Isaac grabs Bella's collar, trying to hold her back as she snarls and snaps. Then Laura bursts through the trees. "Isaac!" she cries, running to him. He looks at her, shaken and confused. "It was him! I thought it was Dad!" Laura hugs him tightly, eyeing the spot where Bella had attacked. But there's nothing there now. Worried by what happened, Laura contacts Mary, a local therapist. During the session, Mary gently asks Isaac to share what he saw. Isaac speaks softly. "He told me I'm special and no one should know he's here." Mary nods calmly. "What do you mean he was different?" Isaac thinks, then says, "He didn't look right." His face was Dad's, but his body was weird. He had 4 arms. Mary encourages him to draw what he saw. Isaac sketches a figure with his dad's face but a strange alien body. "He's still out there," Isaac says, pointing to the woods, "waiting for me." Later, Mary speaks privately with Laura. This might be Isaac's way of processing grief, letting him express these thoughts, draw them, talk about them. It's important. Maybe even visiting the forest together could help him feel safe. That night, Laura sits beside Isaac. "How about we go into the woods together just to see there's nothing there?" Isaac nods. The next day, Laura, Isaac, and Bella walk deep into the forest. After a while, Isaac suddenly shouts, "There it is!" and runs ahead. He stops in front of a strange structure, something like a small, weathered building. "Dad built this," he says, running to the door. "Isaac, wait!" Laura shouts, grabbing his arm before he can go inside. Isaac cries out, trying to pull free. In his panic, he swings at her by accident. Laura holds him tightly until he calms down, then pulls him away from the building. That night, Laura calls Robert and tells him what happened. "I need help. Please come stay for a few days. Bring a camera." Robert arrives the next morning and finds Laura asleep on the couch, an empty bottle nearby. He gently wakes her. They sit in the kitchen, speaking in low voices. "I'm scared," Laura admits. "What if Isaac keeps getting worse? What if I can't do this?" Robert places a hand on her shoulder. "You're not alone. I'm here. And if one day it's too much, I'll take care of him. Okay?" That night, Laura sets up the camera Robert brought in Isaac's room just in case. Later, while watching the monitor, she hears strange sounds. Soft footsteps come from the roof. Suddenly, Bella leaps up and darts out the door. Laura follows her as the dog runs into the forest, but this time, something's waiting. From the shadows, a second Bella appears, identical in every way. The real Bella lunges at her. The two dogs clash, fighting viciously. At dawn, Robert heads out to search for Bella while Laura stays home, worried and distracted by the missing knife. She checks the security camera and realizes Isaac isn't in his bed. Robert calls from outside. She runs and finds him standing beside Bella's lifeless body. Turning back, Laura sees Isaac watching from the house, silent, unmoving. They take Bella straight to the vet. The veterinarian examines her and gives a chilling conclusion. The wounds on Bella's body don't look like another animal's. It appears someone, or something, stabbed her. Laura and Robert decide to bury her near James's grave. But when they arrive, they find James's grave disturbed, the earth turned, and the headstone broken. After burying Bella quietly nearby, they return home, heavy with sorrow. Later, Isaac is playing video games when he hears odd sounds from the vent. Curious, he looks in and freezes. There lies Bella, or something that looks like her. But as he watches, the face shifts, turning into James's. The figure speaks softly, calling Isaac by name. Isaac begs the vision to come home. Watching from the monitor, Laura and Robert also see the face. They rush to Isaac's room, but when they arrive, it's already gone. The therapist visits again. Laura tells her she saw the face too. The therapist suggests both Laura and Isaac might be sharing this struggle, that their grief and fear are intertwined in painful ways. Laura, overwhelmed and exhausted, breaks down, tears mixing with the alcohol still in her body. Robert tries to comfort her, but Laura, drunk and desperate, pushes him away before breaking into sobs again. Meanwhile, Isaac sneaks out of the house and heads to the strange building in the forest. There he speaks softly to the being he believes is his father. "I'll bring them here," he says, "so they can see." The next morning, Laura confesses to Robert. "I can't do this anymore," she admits. "Please take care of Isaac for me." Robert nods, understanding the weight of her words. Later, Robert and Isaac go for a walk. Isaac leads him deep into the forest to the mysterious structure. Robert looks at the strange building and asks, "Have you ever gone inside?" Isaac shakes his head. "No, but wait here. I want to see if Dad is in there." Robert hesitates but stays outside. As he waits, he tries to start a conversation. "It's okay. Isaac, if things ever get too hard, would you like to come live with me for a while?" Isaac firmly shakes his head. "No." Back home, Laura is going through James's office. She finds blueprints of the building in the woods. the same structure they had just visited. Outside, Robert looked serious, sad. "Isaac, your father is gone. He died. We should leave." Isaac's eyes harden. "Number. He's still here. He's alive." Suddenly, a strange noise comes from inside the building. Robert pulls out his flashlight and shines it inside. His blood runs cold. There in the shadows is a creature with James's face. Without hesitation, Robert turns and runs. The next morning, Laura races to the hospital and finds Robert badly hurt and in critical condition. When she returns home, she demands to know what happened. Isaac says calmly, "He just fell while running and hit his head." Laura doesn't believe him. Annoyed, "You're lying." Isaac snaps back, angry. "No, you're the one lying. I saw you kiss him." Laura's voice shakes with anger and pain. "I'm leaving tomorrow, and when I'm gone, Child Protection Services will come for you." Late at night, Laura suddenly wakes up, feeling something brush against her. She rushes down the hall to Isaac's room. Isaac's eyes snap open, wide with fear. Standing over him is the creature, its real, terrifying form revealed in the dark. Laura stumbles in, blood dripping from a deep cut on her head, but she doesn't hesitate. She drops beside Isaac, who's clutching a knife tightly. The creature silently reaches out its arm, calling Isaac to come closer. Seeing the danger, Laura summons every last ounce of strength. She yanks the knife from Isaac's hands and lunges at the creature, stabbing it again and again. At last, exhausted and shaking, she collapses to the floor. Isaac screams her name, his voice trembling with fear. Years later, an adult Isaac sits silently by the vent in his room, lost in thought. He then heads out, walking through the woods to visit his parents' graves and the old strange building. Inside the dusty structure, his flashlight beam falls on something unexpected, a worn photograph of him and his father. As he stares at the photo, he accidentally steps on something hard. He points the light at the ground and freezes. It's a skeleton, twisted and broken. The bones belong to the creature. Isaac holds his breath, pockets the photo, and leaves the building. Back at home, he walks into a room where Laura is sitting. She looks at him and asks gently, "What is it, Isaac?"